Thank you. Um, Today's topic is a hot topic. Uh, about 950 candidate from Gujarat, that is Gujarat in India. Now it is thought that around these numbers used fake IELTS certificate to come to Canada and United States, and this puts me to shame when I see that name of India and reputation of India is put to stake by some people who can do anything to come to uh, a country like US and Canada. So what happened was these people, some of the students, they were caught by the law in United States for some other reason, and when they went to the lawmakers, they were not able to speak a word of English, not even a word of English, and they wanted a Gujarati translator, and that's how they found out that something is wrong. So they reached out to the Gujarat police, and they had sent details like what's happening, and it has been found. The article is published in many leading newspaper in India. Times of India is one of them, and what has come out is that these test centers, wherever these IELTS exam happen, online tests, they have a very secured space. They have CCTV cameras. They have multiple level of check. But here, they saw that the CCTV camera was turned off, and somebody else was impersonating on behalf of these candidates, which really puts me to shame. Uh, I know that many of the Indians who come to a place like Canada and United States, they come with very high IELTS score. I personally know of many of my friends who have a very high IELTS score, and that's because they put in their dedicated effort, because they work in a service company where they interact with their English colleagues, and so on. Now, this incident is going to not just put um, uh, us to shame, which already has happened, but this is also going to impact the future intake which is going to happen. There will be a lot of scrutiny which will happen, especially for the students who are going to come to Canada. Not just students, I came on PR and I had to write IELTS exam, and so would be the case with many of them. Now, earlier when I was moving to Canada, I remember that one of the Indian college, they were not getting accepted for the education credentials. Hi guys, good morning. Good morning. Can I join Canada? I want to come to Canada. Bahrain is 10 years. Please guide. I will share my experience and example, and some of the anecdotes from the recent things, what has been happening, and what I am aware of. So, guys, now Gujarat police, they are in full swing, and they are checking some of the places. So there are places like Vadodara, Mehsana, Ahmedabad, Navsari, Nadia, and Anand. These are the places which are under scanner as of now. And the first irregularity came in April, when a dummy student who was caught taking the exam in Nadia. Later, the CCTV was switched off to accommodate these candidates from Navsari and Mehsana. And what is even more interesting is that from each candidate, 14 lakh Indian rupees was being taken. Um, and so that is quite a shocking news. I know that there are a lot of scams happening around. uh, Once I was reached out after coming to Canada, saying that you can pay money to get IELTS certificate, and then I had made a video on how these scammers target. Please be aware and be away from these people. Now, these people are now called illegal immigrant from North Gujarat, and they needed a Hindi translator. They were not able to speak English, whereas they had in IELTS score of 7 to 8, and they had taken exam in last September, few months before from now. Now, the police says that this scam has majorly targeted students who wish to come to US and Canada, and for last 5 years this has been running. So that is, quite a shocking thing to know and see, and to get this news today morning was something which was at least devastating for me. Now, these agents had promised IELTS certificate, and as I said, it was costing around 14 lakh each. And the person has been, now it has come forward that he was from Mehsana, who's collecting money from the aspirant. And 6 men who traveled to Canada on student visa were also caught by the US agency on April 28th. So this happened in April, and then they were rescued by the Agency of Canada and the US from stinking boat in Saint Regis, which they were using to cross illegally. So this is one news which has not been in good taste for India. Uh, I personally know that many of the people who come here, when they land here, uh, have good experience. At the same time, there are people who don't have good experience, and one of the reason is that people don't trust. And reading this news, my question is, why should anyone trust? We all come to a country like Canada and US, and we say it is not a fair level field. Um, uh, we don't get treated equally for the experience and the job skill set what we get. But if you look at what has happened here, my question is that why would somebody trust just purely from the marks, what you get as a education credentials, or through the IELTS exam? A lot of people put their hard work to test. A lot of people burn their midnight oil, but these are instances where it creates barrier in mind of people who have to accept you when you come to country. So this is quite a shocking news. Like, I know that a lot of scams have been happening, be it immigration, where people have been asked to shell out 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, and all of those. Unfortunately, those go unreported because um, on both the side there are mistakes, and people don't come out and tell that. Now, I'll just go over and see what questions. Uh, I want to come to Canada. I'm in Bahrain since 10 years now. Please guide me. Jaj Ahmed. So, Canada has a very, very transparent process for whether it is permanent residency, work permit, open, close, whatever it is. Now, if you go to the government website, everything is given for free on how you can come to Canada, what are your qualification, how. So the main question you have to ask is what you can contribute to Canada, and that is the reason why all these entries have been open. So if you bring in a skill set which is high in demand here in Canada, then that much easier it becomes for you, provided you prove your education credential. Okay, then your English speaking ability that gets checked, and then your work experience in the relevant field. So these are the things which becomes important for you to start your Canada immigration journey. I'm not a consultant. I'm not someone who can give you advice or suggestion. I'm sharing my experience. I looked at the government website, everything was there, and I just followed what was there in the government website. Now, in case you think that you are not able to go through the entire detail and find it out, one thing what you can do is to look for a consultant. Now, when you're looking for a consultant, make sure that they are RCIC licensed consultant. I had made a video where I shared with you on how you can check uh, whether the consultant is a regulated immigration consultant or not. Many a times people end up going to the wrong person and spend a lot of money realizing that he or she was not a licensed immigration consultant. So always check it is your right, because you are going to get their service, and there's by law they are supposed to provide you the details of their credential on their immigration consultant status and the license number. All you need to do is take that, go to the website, put the details, and you will see whether they are in good standing or not before even you start having any kind of transaction with them. Now, I also know that the consultants are also experienced people, the licensed one, because they go through a regulatory study, and they know what they can ask and what they can promise, what they cannot promise. Whatever they will be doing very, very cautiously at each step, and that's how you can get to check. There is no country restriction when it comes to Canada. Anybody who uh, you know is able to bring his skill set which will help Canada is welcome. Now there are few policy changes here and there which impacts the overall system, but uh, if you look at people who are here, there's quite a diverse talent pool which comes. Um, Most of the people, they think Ontario, British Columbia, they are uh, entire Canada, but while majority of population comes to these places, Canada is quite widespread. It is the second biggest country in the entire world. um, I'm a civil engineer, 42-year-old. Can I join Canada? Same thing as I said, age becomes little restrictive, but I know people who have moved in later part of 45 also. They had good skill set. Um, some of my colleagues who were working in animation industry, they have moved at a later age, and they are high in demand people, not just in Canada. You go to New Zealand, Australia, France, these people are highly talented and high in demand. So these kind of people, um, for them the age is not restrictive to come to Canada. This I'm saying it with confidence because I worked with the animation industry, and I have many of my friends who are here in Canada working with animation industry, who were working with animation studio. Now some of them are permanent resident, and frankly speaking, if you ask me, one of the best way to integrate is come through your own company, start your life here, you get to know what Canada is, and you have a job, you're able to settle much better here, and then move forward from there. So I hope that gives you some clarity. If you want to know which program, how it is done, I'm not the right person. Maybe I can do a YouTube video where I show how I do my research on which province, what kind of skill set, what is in demand, all those things to be checked. But frankly speaking, if you do research, you will find your way. Some Noor Khan Afridi, good morning to you. Thank you. Someone has written in Tamil. I can speak little bit of Tamil, but I don't know the written part of Tamil. I'm sorry. Uh, One of the oldest language in world is Tamil. I can make out the script, but I can't speak. Sorry, Firoz. you may have to translate or write in English. Maybe when I learn Tamil to write and read, I may be able to reply to you. Can student come PR before 4 years completion of their course? Uh, if you're coming from outside of Canada, the answer is no. In my case, when I came on PR, there were few criterias which were looked at. One was, of course, I had to have an education qualification for the job what I'm looking for. By the way, when I came here, I came without a job. My express entry system program allowed me to come without a job and find a job here. So I had to show my education. Okay. And at that point of time, what I realized is, since I was on later part of 30s, when I moved, I was around 35, 36-year old. And at that time, because I was on higher side of 30, I was losing point in my age. And at the same time, I had close to 16 years of experience, and I was getting point only for 3 years of experience. Anything above that was actually waste for me. Like, I had delayed coming to Canada by, say, almost uh, 12 to 13 years. Had I come immediately when I had 3 years of experience, that time express entry was not there, but that was the golden period when I could just have come very, very easily. So uh, that is one age limit for civil engineer. As I said, it's a very dynamic structure through which the programs have been designed. Whether it is provincial nominee program, express entry. So age is a little hindrance for sure, but if you have the right skill and the skill is in demand, then age is just one number. You just have to make sure that you have the right CRS score for you to be picked. Now, as a civil engineer, one thing you may have to check is whether your civil engineering uh, will help you start working right away in Canada. Many of the profession requires you to have a license of Canada, say uh, P engineering. That's what PENG. You can go and check whether your kind of work requires that or not, and that can take time, which means till such time you cannot practice what you have. So that is one thing. I want a job associate mechanical job. Nasir Khanna Sirkha, I'm sorry, I'm not able to uh, get your question. Age limit for mechanical engineer, I have answered. For the civil engineer, it goes the same. Demand versus supply. If there is a demand and the supply is short, age, you know, uh, restriction might not be applicable. It runs on CRS score, but if the demand is high and supply is also high, then the scores are very, very high. So it's not just the age, there are many other metrics involved. Maybe I can just take you and show you the video in coming days sometime. Do you think there will be TR to PR again? Uh, so I personally think that the system is undergoing a lot of changes and modification. Pandemic was a game changer, where Canada had to reinvent and look for alternate when they stopped getting people from outside. So that time it was a very, very good move, because people who were here on PR, they were already contributing to the economy. So for them to integrate here was a very, very good decision then. Now Canada has to grow economy wise, and unfortunately, not many of the PR get to PR. That was the earlier case. I'm not sure with the change of policies how things are going to be working. They are trying to make sure that they get the right people to come to Canada, and we will just have to wait and watch how that goes. Um, so that is one thing. how much expense money coming there. Prakash from Kuwait, I guess. I spent about overall 2 lakh Indian rupees, which included medical, my flight ticket, paying to the government for my permanent residency process, background check, and many, many things. And that 2 lakh was for a family of 2 people. Depends on what kind of program you're coming in, it can keep changing. So you'll have to see what program fits you and where you are going. Now this excludes anything outside, that is to pay consultant and many other things. Do I eligible to change my visitor status to permanent work permit in Canada? CZ, I really don't know this answer to this. I have seen people, in my conversation telling that they have had change from visitors to work permit, but I really, really don't know. I'm the last person to tell you whether it happens or not, because I have just heard from people and I have not seen how that process works. Be careful. Many people might promise you, and you may end up losing your money. So just be careful on all of these. So guys, there are a few more. uh, okay, what's that? Okay, you have started your ECA process. Great. Can I change visitors to work permit? I just gave my peace of mind. A fresh chemical engineer doing a job in Dubai. um, if you're coming in express entry category, you need to at least have 1 year of experience in the knock you're applying for. Now there are many other things, just don't go by what I say. I made a video on how I did everything uh, from start, how I planned my score, how I got my evaluation done, and everything. Please have a look at the video. It's there on YouTube. Canada Tried and Tested, same name as in TikTok. So please do check that. ಮಂಜು ಗೌಡ ಅವರೇ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಕನ್ನಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. I'm 40-year-old BSc in agriculture, MSc in environmental science, 9-year experience in sector. So for you, please go and see the province where agriculture is in demand. I know that the province of Manitoba, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is a wheat ball of the world. At some point, it was dominant with their wheat export, and so is Alberta. So just look at these provinces and see what kind of job demands they have. You can go just Google and see what kind of job demand they have. 9 years is a good experience. 40-year-old, again, as I said, sometimes age can be a factor of resistance, but everything is possible if you have the right skill. I came at the age of 35, 36, and I was able to prove my experience. And then you see, I'm here. So please do try, do some research on the Canada government's website, www.canada.ca. What I have also done, I can show you, is uh, if you go to this website. Okay, I'll turn the camera and I'll show you. This is the link, canada-tried-and-tested.com. Okay, now if you come to this website, right here, once you come down, I've created the search. You just put how to come to Canada on PR. Once you add PR, you get all these video links. You can just go and see which one is useful for you. Please do check. I have been trying to document everything so that you don't have to go and do and reinvent the wheel. So that is one. And I pay from a friend. I'm waiting for your reply. Manju, I just spoke to Nan. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು ಮುಂದೆನೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿದೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಐ ಹೋಪ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತದು. From he working in Canada, what is the condition of visitor visa approval? um, I have not gone through that process. I'm doing it for my parents, so whenever I get to do that, I will let you know. What is the minimum age limit for migration? I have answered this in just few minutes back. Just don't look at the age as one. Age is just one criteria. There are many things: your skill, where you are looking for, what kind of program you are eligible, how much English you know, and many other such thing. How to collect my payment? I'm not sure what you're saying, but please don't pay to anyone just like that. Make sure that you're paying to the legitimate consultant. There are ways to check. I have made video on that. Where in Karnataka, ನಾನು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು. ಆ, ನಮ್ಮೂರು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಊರು? I'm working in UAE. I'm how to apply Canada. ಮಂಜು ಗೌಡ ಅವರೇ, ನಾನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ how to do that, how I did that. I keep sharing those things. I will try to make video once again so that uh, you guys get to see that. And guys, frankly speaking, the whole idea was to tell you that don't get into any scam, any fraud. Don't give your hard-earned money to anyone. There are ways through which you can find information. There are ways through which you can go and get right people to do your process. When I say right people, the consultant who are licensed immigration consultant. Like, I'm not a licensed immigration consultant, so I cannot give you any advice for a payment. Okay, for that matter, whatever I say here, uh, this is my experience. So you have to do your due diligence. Just don't listen to someone who comes online and gives you gyan. Do your due diligence. Make sure you don't hand over your hard-earned money to anyone. At the same time, don't fall to trap like the scam which happened in Gujarat, where IELTS certificate was getting sold for 14 lakhs. I just can't imagine. Uh, for my wife and I, we pay overall. We spent 2 lakh rupees to come to Canada, uh, and in that, flight ticket was included, and the process with government, medical, IELTS exam, all of that was included. So just to think that to get a fake certificate, people are paying 14 lakh, insane. I also know many of the people have come and shared their story that they are still stuck in India. They paid to the agents 40 lakh, 50 lakh. They don't know where it is gone, and you will never get back that money. You will not be able to go and tell anyone. So please keep your money safe. You're working hard. uh, it's your hard-earned money, so make sure that this remains with you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining in. It's really, really encouraging when you guys come and speak to me, interact with me. If you have any questions, please throw that question to me. I will make a sincere attempt to find the right information on the government website and get that to you, or give you tools with which you can go and do your research, and just not listen to anyone who just comes randomly and says anything. You guys have helped me to grow my channel on YouTube, as well as TikTok. Just goes on to show the trust what you guys have on me, and I will not let you guys down. I will keep doing what I'm doing, and honestly, you guys are the inspiration. You guys are the motivation why I come and I share these stories in front of you, because uh, whatever good things or bad things I come across, I can only contribute to few people. You are my eyes and ears. Today, you know about this scam on IELTS. You will make sure that not just you are learned, your friend, if they say, hey, somebody is asking me to pay money to go to Canada, you know that you are falling into trap. So uh, in a way, we all are helping each other to keep our name, our country's name, our country's reputation intact, and making sure that we do the right thing to come to country like Canada, US. Those of you working from Middle East, Qatar, Dubai, you guys are hardworking, and thank you guys. Keep coming. Uh, Keep asking questions, and it's great interacting with all of you. Thank you very much.